Welcome to Itu, a Brazilian city in the southeastern part of the country. And if you do follow me, you'll know I like the weird, the wonderful, the crazy, the strange cities, towns of all around the world I've been to. And this isn't too bad. So Itu is known as the City of Exaggerations. Everything is supposed to be ridiculously oversized, just like that telephone box, which is about 7 meters tall. And it all started as a joke from comedian Simplicio, who actually comes from this city, who used to claim that everything in his hometown was bigger than everywhere else. And then the city embraced it and went, let's go for it. And there is so many things that are exaggerated, like the traffic lights just there. I mean, go big or go bigger. So I'm gonna have a little wander around. There is so much to see around here, and as always, there's always the cathedral. So Itu was founded in 1610. The cathedral itself was built in 1700s. In fact, let's have a wander in. Go around the side. Oh wow. That looks amazing. That looks like a lot of gold. Wow. That was quite impressive in there. I quite like that. If I turn around now, there is the giant traffic lights. I mean, it didn't really look giant, but look at that mural up there. That's beautiful. So the other thing that Itu is famous for is the convention of Itu. So in 1873, politicians and wealthy coffee plantation owners met in Itu for the famous convention, which was to start a republic movement to get rid of the monarchy, get rid of the empire. And this is the building where they sort of all met. And in 1889, Brazil did become a republic. So I'm going to have a wander in, because it is now a museum. Right, I'm now in the museum. Like I said, it is free to come in. And I really do want to just see the big stuff. See, there's a big pencil and stuff like that. So, as I said, this was a formation of the Republic from the Empire. But yeah, and according to the notes that I've just been given in English, the girl that runs the place had to go down to a printer to print it all off. So it says here that 133 Republicans representing 17 towns came here to get rid of the empire. Not the Star Wars empire. Oh, look. Hey. So we have looked after the museum. There's a lot of security around here. The museum is famous for its blue tiling. So I arrived here from Campinas, took a bus that took about an hour and a half, I think. I slept for most of the way. it was a tiring journey, sat down. And there is a second museum which is linked, I think, to the first one. Wow, look at that building. So that's the main one just down there. And I think this one is just more to do with research, libraries. So the hotel that I'm staying in is actually just down the road down here, very central. 99 real a night. It's cheap. The room, probably not the biggest hotel room I've stayed in, but it's a bed. It's somewhere to sleep. So I'm just going by the map to Independence Park. Oh, there's a tourist map over there. Wow, there is a lot to see. And from the looks of it, a lot of it is churches. There were so many churches in the city. And it became known as the Rome of Brazil because of the amount of religious structures that there were. But according to the map, that's just a normal park, and this is Independence Park. Oh, and there's a big statue. And this is Domingos Fernandez. He is the founder of the city, and he looks fierce. He's not the sort of bloke I want to meet on a dark night. But the park itself, although small, that little fountain, that's big. It's got a little stage in the middle of it. Wow. And with all them lights, and they're coloured lights as well, I reckon on the night time that'll be amazing to look at. What I am finding out more and more about the smaller cities within Brazil, and this has only got a population of about 175,000, is that they've kept the historical side in so much good maintained style, and it's all clean and tidy. And I'm not too sure if they get a lot of international visitors, because there's a lot of tourist signs like that one there that's in Portuguese and in English. Right, I've come back to the central park in the historical side, mainly because I don't think I showed enough of it. There's the big telephone box. It's only because I'm so excited about going to the park that's got the big things in, which is not too far away. So this is Park Padre Miguel. It's a really chilled out area. Lots of seats to bring a picnic, I guess. And talking about big things, there's another big telephone over there. And before I get to the telephone, if you look at all these buildings, they're all very colourful. It's a really cool place. Oh, it's got a big chair as well. I don't think my little legs could get right to the top of that. I mean, it didn't work, that telephone. And then across the road, some big clogs. Well, I say clogs, boots, big football. They like their big stuff. So this building here has got the same sort of design that the museum, Republican Museum, had on the inside. The blue and white tiling. And if you're into museums, there's a lot of them around here. Energy Museum. I know there's a military museum further up that way. I think today I've got the perfect weather. You've got the blue skies and it's not too hot. As I said, there is a lot of churches here, and that is Church Bomb Jesus. And from the outside, especially with that dome on the right hand side, it looks like a cathedral, but that's just a normal church. And where all them kids are, it looks like a school trip out. So I guess it's an important city for the history of Brazil. But where they're standing is where I want to go next. Move now. 10 minutes that guy's been chatting about everything. And they're going inside, but the reason I wanted to show you this is ground zero of Itu. In 1610, this is where the first chapel was built, marking the start of the town of Itu. 2nd of February, to be exact, it says so just there. And right in the centre there is a time capsule which was planted in 2023 to be reopened in 2043. I might come back for that. But this area is beautiful. And I am getting closer to the Park of Exaggerations. But just thought I'd have a one through here. So that monument right in front of me marks the 400th anniversary of the city, 1610 to 2010. I can imagine 400 years. That's a big party. That would have been a lot of Coca-Cola. So a nice little 25-minute stroll, and it was a tourist moment for me. I didn't do any filming. So this is Praça dos Exageros. I think that's how you say it in Portuguese. But it's the Exaggeration Park. But as I was walking down, I just had my headphones in, just walking along. It takes you through the main part of the city where like normal people live, not tourists. And it's just very clean. I like this place. So, because of this comedian and everything being bigger, this is the park that has everything bigger. Just like that guy sat down. All right. I love Itu. Big sign. Instagram ready. Just seems to be a lot of giant cupcakes for some reason. It's not what I imagined it'd be. There's a big clock just up there. And that's not the right time, that's the time that's painted on. Okay. Big pencils. I mean, that telephone box in the centre of the square, that seemed to be more impressive than anything here so far. There's a few insects and a big key, which is very random. There seems to be a maze right there that I know that if I go in there with my sense of direction, I will get lost. Oh, is this it? All right, there's the fence line just down there. Yeah. Well, that was worth a very, very long 25-minute walk just to have a look at this lot. Oh well, I've seen it. So I've just had a little wander over to the tourist information office there, and I've just discovered that this is the comedian himself, Simplicio. obviously because he was saying everything's bigger in A2, he's got to be bigger as well. So basically he would say things in his sketches like the oranges are bigger, the telephones are bigger, everything in A2 is bigger. And that's basically when the city went, let's go into this thing. So I've just come into the next place, and this is the Park Geologico do Varvito. It's a geological park. Lots of signs as you walk in, and more importantly, they've got English in it. So Varvito is a distinctive layered sediment rock that formed around 290 million years ago, and that's older than me. So this was when the area was covered by an ancient glacier lake, and the layers that you can see, I think that's it there. In fact, let's have a wander down first, if I work out how to get down. So the rock I want to look at is over there, but to get there you've got to walk along a long path, and I suppose even though it's free to come in, I guess it's a nice way to have a look around at the various trees. This is quite cool. Now, I'm not a geologist, so I've had to Google to find out what all this is all about. So if you look at all the layers within this rock face, each layer is basically an annual deposit laid down by melting ice and sediments. So for me to understand this properly, if you think of a tree ring, that the older it gets another ring forms, this is like a rock equivalent, if that makes sense. I mean, millions and millions of years old, and it's so peaceful, gorgeous. And there's the entrance up there, and I kind of understand why they've got a long path, so you can actually go to the first one with the rock pool and then come down to the main attraction, which is this one down here. And then you got some cherry blossom. And I don't think it goes back any further because I can see all the fences up there. Fascinating. I've come for a city full of big things, and I've found something that's old. I suppose you could say it's a big old thing, because it is, but it too has really surprised me. Like a lot of places I've been to in Brazil, off the beaten track, you find some really big surprises that aren't on the tourist map. And I have been out for a couple of hours enjoying the sights in this good weather, but unfortunately today is laundry day. This is my last clean t-shirt, so I need to go back to the hostel, and I think I'm seeing enough of what I wanted to see in the city. Everything from the big things to the old things, the centre. But if you've enjoyed this video, then all you got to do is press that like button. But until the next time, it's laundry day. Bye bye for now.